about tone, the party's tone has taken on immigration. I'm wondering if the challenge for reaching out to Hispanics, for the Republican Party, if it's just an issue of tone, or if there's also, the party's become known in the last few years as, a very pro-enforcement, party, that policy is also part of the barrier. Is it just tone, or is there a policy barrier as well?
Well, I mean, tone matters in politics a lot. If you send a signal, and let me be clear, I don't think officialdom in the Republican Party has a tone problem. It is our voices, not many of them, but loud voices that are picked up and magnified by our friends in the media that send that signal. So I think it's common. I mean, the more controversial you are today in America, the greater the likelihood your voice will be heard. It seems that's the case. So I don't view the tone issue as being one that is something that can't be overcome. Maybe a restoration of civility across the board, all participants might help that out. But yeah, sure, I mean, issues matter. Absolutely they matter. And the policy issues that I think resonate amongst Hispanics, I think if you took a poll, I may be wrong, but if you took a poll, I think Hispanic voters would have a very similar percentage of saying that the United States needs to control its borders, that we need to control illegal immigration. I have not met a Hispanic that thinks it's a really great idea to create a situation where illegal immigrants get into the country at the expense of people who abide by the law and wait in line. So I don't think there's an argument there. The argument goes maybe where there needs to be a dialogue is that it? We just control the border and leave that to be the end of the conversation about immigration. And my personal belief is a majority of conservatives want to see comprehensive reform after there's border security. And the other thing I'd say about addressing Hispanic concerns, there's a lot more to the concerns of people, including Hispanics, than just immigration. I mean, people are anxious about the jobs they have or the jobs they don't have. Anxious they may lose their jobs, or they're anxious that they can't find one. Hispanics, particularly the newly arrived, are aspirational in their nature. They want to be inspired to be better, to do better. They want policies to support that. They want quality education for their children. And they want their voice to be heard. And so all of that, I think, is important for conservatives to be successful to address.
Governor Bush, Shannon Travis of CNN, is this conference a sort of tacit admission that the Republican Party does have problems with Hispanics, given that the DREAM Act, which a lot of Hispanics supported its passage, went down in defeat in the Senate, largely due to Republican objections? There's a group of Republican lawmakers, state lawmakers right now, who are pushing for an end to birthright citizenship so that these so-called anchor babies aren't.
Yeah, I don't think they represent a majority of the thinking.
But is this conference and efforts like these and a sort of admission that, hey, the Republican Party needs to do better, not just at putting out their message, but adjusting their policies that don't maybe frustrate Hispanics as much?
It's an admission that Hispanics matter. They're going to be increasingly important in elections. And that, I think, is very refreshing. Look, we're not a monolithic, the Republican Party is certainly not monolithic. Conservatives, we've got all these hyphens around conservative thought these days. There's nothing monolithic about conservative thinking at all. And the Hispanic community is definitely not monolithic. I mean, it is the most diverse, vibrant group of people that have real disagreements. They're not all are conservative, certainly not all are liberal. So the idea of a continuous engagement with this diverse community is what this is about, and I think it's a great idea. So, 14th Amendment, I don't know why all of a sudden we would reinterpret the 14th Amendment. And I don't think a majority of Republicans think that's a very cool idea.
So you disagree with that, the effort?
Yeah, I'm going to be disagreeing with a lot of the things that come up with this stuff, because I think, look, I just got a different view. But I'm respectful of other people's opinion, and it doesn't bother me that my views may not be the end views that the press covers or the whatever. It doesn't bother me a bit, but it doesn't mean I'm going to change my mind either.
Governor Bush.